Welcome to the Nutmeg Tavern. This is a very special episode. We're not live, but I do have a special guest here in the Nutmeg Tavern, Joe Pera.
Hey, thanks for having me to your party, John.
We have this wonderful punch that Ryan has made up. We are going to put a little nutmeg in our punch. And here, Joe, you want to put your own. That way you get to decide how much nutmeg you want.
Thank you.
Because nutmeg is part of the recipe. That looks good. And this is incredible punch. Ryan made this punch up earlier. We have a recipe for punch right here. I don't know, Joe, you want to read the recipe for punch?
Of course. It's called a remarkable bowl of punch. On the 25th of October, 1694, a bowl of punch was made at the Right Honorable Edward Ruffles' house when he was Captain General and Commander-in-Chief of His Majesty's forces in the Mediterranean Sea. It was made in a garden in the middle of 4 walks, all covered overhead with orange and lemon trees. And in every walk was a table, the whole length of it, covered with cold collations and, how would you?
Etc.
Oh,
et
there
cetera,
is a ampersand, C period, etc. Cool. In the said fountains were the following ingredients, viz. 4 hogsheads of brandy, 8 hogsheads of water, 25,000 lemons, 20 gallons of lime juice, 1,300 weight of fine white Lisbon sugar, 5 pounds of grated nutmeg, 300 toasted biscuits, and a pipe of dry mountain malaga. Over the fountain was a large canopy built to keep off the rain, and there was built on purpose a little boat, wherein was a boy belonging to the fleet, who rowed round the fountain and filled the cups to the company. And, in all probability, more than 6,000 men drank thereof. Wow. Well, that's a lot of booze.
Yes, it is. That would have been quite a party. And punch is the drink of a party. And this punch, just like that one, has brandy, it has water, it has citrus fruits in it, it's got wine and sugar. And this is very, very nice and, well, even ground nutmeg. So excellent, excellent punch. I'm afraid to drink a little too much of this punch, so I'm gonna be very judicious with this punch. I've got some images, Joe, and I thought you could help me work through these. A lot of times when I'm looking at images, I've looked at them a lot, and I don't catch some of the ideas that regular people might see it and have questions about. Sure. So when we do a live stream, it's really nice to get the audience to chime in comments, and today you are the audience. You get to ask the questions.
Okay, I'll do my best to represent the audience at home.
So we've got our first image. This is likely about 1780. This is an image from Great Britain, and we have folks going to a party. That's why this is here in the images. We've got party goers, and they are being boisterous. And then we have sort of the foreground action that's going on with sort of how they're reacting. You can imagine a carload of partiers heading to a party, and they're hanging out the windows and yelling, and then how the folks around them are reacting.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even nighttime yet, so they're pretty serious about this party.
Definitely. It could be, they're headed to a national victory or something, or it could be some other kind of party they're headed to.
That is the ultimate. If it was just a man and a woman who were scampered by the wagon, it would be one thing. But when you make a donkey run away, then it's serious party business.
Exactly.
It's like, I was looking at it, it makes me think like if the Benny Hill theme song was around back then, it would be playing probably.
We've moved much further back in time, and we've moved on to the continent. This might even be as early as the 1600s, probably a 17th century image, likely Dutch here. And we have a party You know it's a party when someone's got a hurdy-gurdy.
Everybody loves that drone noise.
Mm-hmm.
Was she invited to the party, or did they hire her to come by and play outside?
That, I believe, is probably what's going on. It may be a market day, and she may be moving from sort of house to house or shop to shop. I'm sure it was quite something to listen to.
Beautiful music.
They're having fun, and I believe this is probably a tavern that she's playing right out in front of.
It's not very nice to her, but if they got sick of the hurdy-gurdy music, they could just close the door and go back to drinking.
Sometimes we get some fun caricatures, and the artist is moving into the caricature here. We've got the musicians up high again, so that music carries out. It's like they're up on a stage, right?
Yeah.
And I can't imagine this one, fiddle and whatever sort of trumpet horn thing that poor gentleman is playing. It must have been a lively tune.
Yeah. Do you think that the artist liked the people he was portraying here, because the heads are all shaped kind of like eggs?
Yeah. No, I would say he's probably playing up to a certain, making fun of a certain class. This one is a festive play. We have the flying man with the horn, and
classic character type.
Basically in every show these days, right?
Yep.
And then we have the woman with the very long nose. Specimens of waltzing. 1718. So we move back into that early 19th century time period, and we can partially tell that by their clothing, and we see the funny hairstyles. They're having fun showing us that before this, the idea of facial hair really is out of vogue.
Are they making fun of them again in this one?
Let's say yes. Let's go with that. We've got this outdoor scene, probably out in front of a tavern again. And, so it's a bit like a Hogarth image where we have lots of things going on. We can see it's likely, I'm guessing, a wedding. I am not sure who the man is on this very right-hand side, but he's in kind of tattered clothing. And he's been given a wreath to wear on his head.
Yeah.
And he's reading some proclamation.
Do you think he was involved in the wedding technically, or did he come to do some kind of town reading proclamation and it just kind of collided?
I really wish I knew. I think it's part of the story that we're just going to have to, tell to ourselves and figure out.
It's cool. It's like you asked, how did the wedding go last week? And then they put all of the highlights into one picture, and it feels like
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think probably that is a good interpretation, that we've got different times going on and they just sort of jam them all together so you see it all happen at once.
It kind of feels like that.
So this is, I believe it's Dutch military folks.
Is that a Christmas tree?
It is a celebratory tree and it's wintertime, but unfortunately it's not a Christmas tree.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it's a celebratory tree celebrating a revolution.
This has got to be a Christmas party.
No, I don't think so. I don't know the specifics behind this particular celebration.
Yeah.
Late 18th century, a big fountain, giant fountain. It even looks like they have Christmas lights on the buildings. I don't know how they would have done that in the 18th century. Here is probably a later 18th century image. It says it's May Day, and there are lots of different celebratory time periods.
Okay, so it's not a Christmas celebration?
No, this one is not a Christmas celebration. May Day was a very, very popular time, and they would dance around a tree or maypole.
In Buffalo, they have Dingus Day, really large. It's like the Polish spring holiday, and I think the women hit the men with the
stick.
That's pretty funny. Oh, is this a Christmas celebration?
No, this is probably another one of those spring sort of celebrations. This is a Dutch image, late 17th century likely, and we have our classic hogs off on one side, people falling on the ground, people dancing. the man playing bagpipes. We even have our dovecotes. So see the upper part of the roof there. There would that's where you'd go up and harvest your doves.
If you want to make a meat pie.
That's right.
That's great. Sorry I keep asking about Christmas trees, but this is just kind of an interest of mine. Were there Christmas trees, Christmas parties back then?
There were Christmas parties, depending on where you were at and the time period. Dickens really brings Christmas back to life, and he's looking back at an earlier era, and he's trying to, and he does, sort of bring Christmas back into kind of what we think Christmas is. But Christmas had really fallen away, and there were times when Christmas was sort of outlawed. At the very beginning of the English Civil War, when the parliamentarians come to power, they say, no, we're not doing Christmas. It's against the law to not have your shop open on Christmas Day, and you should not eat plum pudding. You should not do a Christmas celebration.
Well, that's not how you win fans over.
Apparently not, because they lost after a while.
What the?
Caricatures and party and drinking, and we get to see close up the gentlemen are eating oysters and drinking wine or punch.
It feels kind of modern, actually.
Yeah, it does. There's the classic fireworks in Covent Garden, 1690, so a very early one. We see how you catch fireworks in a single still image. How do we get this going on? But we can see the Catherine wheels, and we can see the sort of zigzaggy fireworks going on, and fountains of light going on, and it looks very dangerous.
It seems like a wild time. What did they? Is that a Catherine wheel? You said that they set on fire.
Catherine wheel there in the center sort of background there, that sort of rockets on a spinning wheel, and fountains of light, and probably people catching fire. I don't think they would allow people to do those kinds of fireworks today.
Unfortunately, no.
Let's finish up on a true party just like this one. Okay, not like this one, but the giant punch bowl, and lots of fun things going on here. This is a Midnight Modern Conversation, classic print from the time period. And boy, what do you think about that, Joe?
It seems, yes, definitely late at night. Oh gosh, they're gonna feel horrible tomorrow.
I think they're already feeling horrible, most of them. This is sort of possibly a gentleman's club in that we see here on the mantelpiece. I think those are actually like little paddles or rackets to play a game. So they like play ping pong sort of in there, and it's set up with lots of drinks and entertainment if they want entertainment.
I wonder if whether it's trying to depict that it's a humorous scene, or if people drank that way to get to that point back then. Or
well, let's just say this: the artist here is making fun of this set of people who would drink to this excess, and the artist is definitely trying to say something, saying this isn't the best part of society. He's not necessarily painting this because it's fun or because it's funny, but he's saying this is if this is what society is like, maybe we need to rethink what we do.
Forgive this comparison, but like perhaps this image, his modern version is Real Housewives of blank city. You can watch these people and their lives and judge it, but at the same time,
you can't turn away from the car wreck.
John, I actually looked up some toasts of the time period.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind if I share.
Of course not.
So I guess at the beginning you'd say, pray, raise your glass. And then this one is from 1772. To the health and good fortune of those friends in company tonight. May they never run out of their favorite condiment, mushroom ketchup.
Mushroom ketchup.
I got another one from 1778. Perpetual union to the colonies, a long and happy peace, full of mushroom ketchup.
Mushroom ketchup.
These are all real, by the way.
You must have really liked that mushroom ketchup.
And then this is a 1781. May you be in heaven a full half hour before the devil knows you've taken his mushroom ketchup.
Mushroom ketchup.
Sorry, I didn't actually find these in a book.
Joe, not everybody knows who Joe Pera is. Could you tell me about yourself?
I'm a stand-up comedian from Buffalo, New York, and I got a TV show called Joe Pera Talks with You. I think that if people enjoy your cooking videos, I think they might like the show. It's kind of a slower, gentler paced comedy, and we do a whole episode on like breakfast, everyday stuff, except for now. We have a grocery store episode that's a little bit about a modern history of what it's like to go to the grocery store. So not too similar, but I think that people like nutmeg, like I'm sure all of your viewers do. They'll probably enjoy the comedy of my show.
Joe, I enjoy it a lot, and I hope everyone checks it out.
Thanks, Sean. I appreciate it.
We've been able to see lots of parties, whether they were, good parties or right parties. Some of them obviously went a little too far, but some of them looked like they were, they kept within bounds, and they had a very good time. Yeah. I am so happy to spend this party time with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been a great set of episodes, and thank you so much for coming and spending time with us.
Thank you for having me.